So hopefully you got BlueJ and Java installed, and now you're ready to run it. So open up BlueJ, and then go and find the examples folder. So this is where BlueJ is installed. They have a folder called examples, some sample programs. Open up a program called people. And in this program, you'll see a screen that should look like this. So when you write code, you write it in Java, you write it in something called classes. Classes are the code that let you create objects. And all your code will be in classes of code, and they're going to create objects. The objects will interact with each other, and that will be your program. So in BlueJ, they let you visualize the different classes. So here's a class staff, student, and they're both types of person. So in this case, in BlueJ, you could then create, it's basically a way to interact with it. This isn't how you're actually going to create actual programs, but this is a way to learn it. So you could create objects from this visual interface here. So here's a new staff, you give it a name, and there I created a new object, and I'll show up over here. Now I'm going to create a new student. So they ask for a name, and notice it's a string, so you have to write it with quotes. They don't tell you what these other things are. We're just going to give it a number and another string. So now we created a staff and a student object, and they're both here. Now we could call methods on them. So over here I clicked on staff, we see there's a bunch of methods: get room, set room, and toString. So if I click on get room, it's going to return unknown room. Because remember, there is no option, we didn't put in what room it was in. Now we're going to change that, call another method. Instead of getting a room, that will be a getter, we're going to call a method set room, and we're going to set the room to 4. Incompatible type. Notice 4, even though it looked right, it's not good for a room number because they said that they want a string. So we have to do 4. And now we set the room, and now when we do get room again, it's going to return. And student, we could see we could get the student ID. That was the number that we put. Again, and not an actual number, we put a string called 123. The reason it's not a number is because a student ID isn't the type of thing that you would deal with as a number. Even if it looks like a number, you're not going to be adding it to other numbers. And we also see there's a method toString, and that returns all the information of the student. So these, we see here we have classes. Those classes could create objects, and those objects could call in methods. Now let's show how the objects could interact with each other. We're going to create a new object called database, called database1. And now we're going to look at the methods in it. There's a method add person. So we're going to add the person student1. This is a specific object we have. We're adding it to the database. And now we call another method on the database list all, and this will show us the people in the database. So this is just a simple example to show you how there are classes, objects, and objects have methods and that they interact with each other.